break every chain. Break every chain.
Yeah, there's freedom in you, Jesus. There's freedom in you, Jesus. There's freedom in you, Jesus. There's freedom in your name. There's freedom in your name. Oh, yeah, because of what you've done. All that you've done, Jesus. Oh, to break every chain. Oh, there's freedom in your name. There's freedom in your name. There's freedom in your name. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus to break every chain, to break every chain, to break every chain, to break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. Come on, somebody lift him up today. Somebody just shout the name of Jesus this morning. We love you, Lord. We love you, Lord. It's all for you, Jesus. We love you, Jesus. Come on, does anybody love him today? We love you, Lord. You're so good, Jesus.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appears and the soul felt its worth. The thrill of hope, a weary world rejoices. Oh, yonder grace when Christ was born.
It is so good to see all of your beautiful faces this morning. Hey, why don't you turn to a few people next to you, tell them Merry Christmas, give them a hug, give them a high five.
Merry Christmas to one and all. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the congregation. Let's give our kids a clap for just being so stinking cute. Man, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm getting into this season. Just a few announcements today before we start our Christmas survey, which I promise you is going to be super fun and amazing. The first one is first-time guests. Who is your first time, just so I could see you? Could you just wave at me, raise your hands? Man, a lot of you. Give a clap for everybody. Hi, guys. If this is your first time at the church today, welcome. Just a couple things for you. The first one is when you walked in, you were given a Connect card. Take a moment to fill it out and let us know a little bit who you are. You can drop it in the offering basket as it goes by you a little later in the service. The second thing we would ask for you is if you are a first-time guest, we have a special Christmas gift for you. So stick around after the service. Go outside. You're going to see a really big tent that says new guest. The pastors will be out there. But we would love to meet you and just give you a gift and hear more about how God brought you here. Today is special. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. You might have noticed that our stage is a little different. I have a sneaking suspicion that half those presents are my presents under that tree. Are they from home? That is so funny. The Chanel Tim is yours, I promise. We have a special service today. We're doing a couple cool things. The first one we are doing is we have a skit that the kids are putting on called How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The Grinch is here. Give a clap for the Grinch in the second row. He will be causing trouble. We also are doing something really special. My favorite time of Christmas is honestly sitting on the couch for like 20 hours on Christmas Day. Does anyone do that? It's like literally me every year. My mom tries to get me to do stuff. I just don't do it. I just sit there. I usually will watch every Christmas movie ever made, including The Christmas Story. And so it's a favorite time of year for me to tell the Christmas story. So today we're going to do a really cool thing. The congregation is a family church. Someone say family. How many of you think it's a good idea to celebrate the holidays with your family? And how many do you think it's a good idea that we tell our children about the story of Jesus on Christmas? Amen? So we're going to do that today. It's going to be super fun. We're going to have a ton of great music, which we're excited about, and I promise you will not be disappointed. My final announcement is, the holidays is really a time where you're building relationships, and you're thankful for the relationships you have, and it's an amazing thing when you have great relationships in your life. It really is. I mean, you could have great relationships with your parents, you could have great relationships with people in your family, but it's an amazing thing when you have great friends too, people at church. So all week we have been gearing up for gatherings. Someone say gatherings. And we've been excited about it. And so we're going to have, starting in January, 20 different gatherings. Give a clap for everyone who is leading in their homes. And so if that's you, if you're saying to me, Pastor Stefan, I want to meet in a small group setting, I want to grow, I want to build those meaningful relationships that I'm designed to have, what you want to do is January 6th, which is the first Sunday in January, we want you to come out, and we're going to have a gather fair, a gather meet and greet. So I've talked to many of you over the last month or two, and a lot of people are saying, I want to join. I want to find one in my neighborhood. I want to get involved. I love that idea of taking that step, whether you're in a couple relationship or not a couple relationships, whether you're in a relationship. Or maybe you're a dude and you want to be around other dudes, or maybe you're a girl and you want to be around other girls. Come January 6th, meet the folks that are hosting, get plugged in, and take that next step in growing in this community of faith. We have one more announcement. I'm going to ask Pastor Tim and Pastor Paige to come up and be with me. And so, again, Christmas is a time of celebration, and so we're doing something really special today. We are celebrating someone on our team's birthday, Mr. Joseph Mendoza. Give a clap for Joseph. He has been one of our all-stars. He's our engagement director, and he started with us from the very beginning. And to grow in my friendship with him and just to see him turn, I'm going to say it, you're 40. Dear Lord. You look great for 40, though.
So, Joseph, we just want to say happy birthday to you, how much we celebrate you and your family. You are part of us, your family, and you're doing an awesome job here. And you're really anointed for this position. So we're so glad that you're here.
Joseph is truly one of the best guys that I know. I get to be around a lot of men. He's a servant. He cares. He hustles. He's a great father. He has 5 children. And he and his wife are just special people. So happy birthday to Joseph Mendoza. Can you give him a big clap? You are loved. We must be sponsored by Nordstrom's because all our gifts comes from Nordstrom's. Okay. All right, we got a little gift.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Help us, kids. Kids, we need your help. Joseph, go ahead and have a cookie. Go off your diet. Have one cookie. That's it. Just one. That's it. Just one.
Give one more clap for Joseph. It's so great to be a part of a church with so many amazing young leaders. And so now we're going to do something truly special. We are going to have a Christmas skit from our children. So if we could invite up, where's Miss Abby? Where are you? Come up here. And I have to tell this really funny story. So when I heard they were doing The Grinch Stole Christmas, I was like, man, I'm kind of bummed they didn't ask me. And then Chance came up to me earlier, and he goes, yeah, you'd be perfect for it. And I was like, no kidding. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it. I'd be perfect for it. But I'm excited. This is such an amazing story. And Abby, tell us what's going to happen next.
You guys, I don't want to give you any hints or clues. Just stand by, enjoy. It's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. They practiced hard, so cheer them on, you guys.
Let's give our kids a clap as they come up and as they teach us how not to be a Grinch on Christmas.
Cactus, you're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The three best words that describe you are as follows, and I quote: stink, stank, stunk. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sots. Your heart's a dead tomato spot with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dump heap overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable. Mangled up in, tangled up now.
No, you didn't.
You nauseate me.
Yes, I did. I took all your presents.
No, because Christmas is in our hearts. You want to sing with us?
Why, sure, little girl.
Okay, ready? Grab me.
Old stool sandwich with arsenic sauce.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ. From field and floods, rocks, hills, and plains, repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world.
Give our kids one more clap for being amazing. Tim, I think we found our new evangelism team. I think when we go out into the community, we just got to do carols with these kids. And so if the pastors could come up with me, and we're going to do our next thing in the service. Hi, kids. How you doing? You got to sound a little bit nicer than that. If I give you presents, will you sound enthusiastic? Hi, kids. How you doing? So what we're going to do next is we're going to tell you guys the Christmas story. Does that sound like a good idea? Perfect.
Okay, kids, listen up. This is going to be so exciting. It's going to be weird. Long ago, about 2,000 years ago, when King Herod, kids say King Herod, he ruled this area called Judea. You'll probably never go there. God sent the angel Gabriel to a young woman who lived in the northern town of Nazareth. The girl's name was Mary. Somebody say Mary. Say there's something about Mary. That was a super good movie, just so you know, played by my friend Cameron Diaz. And she was married to a man named Joseph. Say Joseph. Say not Mendoza. Okay, you kids are right in here, teaching them the Bible, everybody. The angel Gabriel said to Mary, peace be with you. God has blessed you, and he's pleased with you. And Mary was surprised at this and wondered what kind of angel this could be. The angel said, don't be afraid. Somebody say that. Say, don't be afraid. Somebody say it in Spanish. Don't be afraid. That's what I thought. Then the angel said, for the Son of God will be born through you, and everything will be a blessing. Mary said goodbye to her friends and family and went to visit her cousin. Say her cousin. And just so you know, kids, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's a little boring. So she goes and visits her cousin, Elizabeth, and her husband, Zachariah. Say Zachariah. Zachariah, you'll read when you get older, was not always that great. Okay. Then, all of a sudden, when Elizabeth saw Mary, the baby that was in Elizabeth jumped. Somebody say jumped. Okay, so the baby jumped. And then Elizabeth began to prophesy to Mary. And she said it like this: "You go, girl. You did not have to have the Messiah, but you did." Clap your hands for this version. Come on, people. This is the urban version. They need to get this one. All right, then what happened? Mary stayed with Elizabeth about 3 months and then returned back to Nazareth. Somebody say Nazareth. Joseph was worried when he found out that Mary was expecting a baby before their marriage had taken place, and wondered if she should put off the wedding altogether. But the angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Everything's going to be all right." I want you to say that. Say, everything is going to be all right. Because you've been chosen by God. Kids, this is so powerful. Get ready for your song. Your song is coming up probably within 30 seconds. Hopefully you were at the rehearsal. All of a sudden, God said, "This is going to be a beautiful child." When Joseph spoke up and the angel told him that Mary was going to be his wife, and next thing you know, a miracle was going to happen. Give this story a big clap. Okay, children, get ready. It's going to be good. We have a song. Is there a song right now? Oh, here it comes.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy had come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to the blind man? Mary, did you know your baby boy would calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? Let's kiss the little baby. You kiss the face of God. Mary, did you know? Hey, Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The deaf will speak, the lame will leave, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know your baby boy was Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy was heaven's perfect lamb? This sleeping child you're holding is a great
Children, did you like the song? All right, let me finish my part of the story. It gets very interesting here. At this time, the land where Mary and Joseph lived was a part of the Roman Empire. The Roman Emperor Augustus wanted to have a list of all the people in the empire to make sure that they paid their taxes. Taxes are very high in California, so you're going to have to get really good jobs. He ordered everyone to return to the town where their families originally came from and enter their names to register for the census. Right now, we have to be very careful because the government really gives a lot of rules. Mary and Joseph traveled a long way, about 70 miles from Nazareth to Bethlehem, because that's where Joseph's family came from. Most people walked, but if you were really lucky, you got a donkey to ride. They had a donkey so that they can take all the supplies for their journey. So Joseph and Mary traveled very slow because Mary was about to have a baby soon. So when they arrived to Bethlehem, they had a problem finding somewhere to stay. So can you imagine? They're on a donkey, it's cold outside, and they have nowhere to stay. She's pregnant and just about to have a baby. So they looked everywhere to find a place, and there was no room and there was no bed to be found. So someone said, there is a stable that you can stay at. Do you know what a stable is? A stable is where the animals slept and stayed. And so they went into the stable and they found a place called the manger. Can someone say manger? When they reached Bethlehem, they noticed that there was people around that were waiting. There was people around that were the shepherds. Now, these animals, how many of you like animals? Back then, these animals sometimes would stay in the house, especially at night, and they would be used as central heating. Now we have very, very high electrical bills, but back then they had animals, and they would have a bunk bed, and they would sleep on the top of the bunk bed, and then they would put the animals underneath to keep them very warm. So in the stable where the animals slept, that's where Mary had Jesus, the Son of God. Can you say the Son of God? And in those days, there was a custom to wrap the newborn babies tightly in swaddling clothes. Mary's, or Jesus' bed was a manger where the animals would eat their hay. In the hills and the fields outside Bethlehem, there were the shepherds that looked after their sheep through the long nights. As the day began, suddenly, can someone say suddenly? An angel appeared before them. And the glory of God, the presence of God, began to rise above them. The shepherds were filled with fear at first, but then the angel said, "Don't be afraid." Someone say, "Don't be afraid. I have good news for you, and I have good news for everyone. Today in Bethlehem, a Savior is born, and you will find him laying in the manger." Then many more of the angels appeared. There were so many angels that they lit up the entire sky. The shepherds heard them praising God, singing, "Glory to God in the highest, peace on earth." When the angels had gone, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem to see what has happened." So the shepherds went to Bethlehem and found Mary and Joseph. The baby Jesus was lying in the manger as they had been told. Then they saw him. They told everyone what the angel had said. And everyone had heard of the story was astonished. And the shepherds returned to their sheep, praising God for sending us a Savior. Can someone say Savior? Let's praise the Lord.
Joyful and triumphant, come ye, oh come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold of angels sing in exultation. Sing all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God, glory in the highest. Oh, come let us adore. Oh, come let us adore Him. Oh, come let us adore Him, Christ the Lord. Oh, come, let's sing one more time. Come let us adore Him. Oh, come let us adore Him. Oh, come let us adore Him, Christ the
So after Jesus was born, there were 3 wise men, and they were going to travel all the way down to Bethlehem. So what they did was they saw a new bright star. Someone say bright. And they saw the star, and they spoke to each other, and they said, we need to travel to find where is this star? They read an old book in a binder just like this one that told them that if they went and found the star, they would find a king. Someone say king. And kings are pretty rare. I don't really know any. And so what they did was they started to travel, and they came to a town named Jerusalem. And they were wandering, and they wanted to find out who this king was. So they went to a person down the street, and they said, hey, do you know where the king is? And the person was like, no, because, I'm just a person. I don't know that many kings. And then finally this guy named Herod heard about this. And Herod wasn't a nice guy. Someone say, boo. Exactly. He was terrible. And so he found out, and he didn't like this new king because he liked being king. And so he ordered the wise men to come and talk to him. And so when the wise men were in the courts, they told Herod, they go, hey, we're looking for a king. And Herod said, that's pretty weird because I'm a king, so you're looking for me? And they were like, no, the real king. Herod, of course, again, did not like that. So he decided to play a trick. And he told the wise men, he said, hey, when you find this king, you should come back and let me know so I could go talk to him. So after the wise men left, and they went to the house of Jesus. And when they found Jesus, they knelt down and worshiped him, and they gave him a bunch of really cool stuff. They gave an Xbox, a Wii, and a PlayStation. Which Jesus was like, dude, I'm one. That's like way overkill. I don't even think my thumbs could reach the controllers. But they gave him those 3 things, and they were happy. So as they left, they realized, man, we cannot go tell Herod about this. And so when they left, they snuck out of town. Herod, of course, was kind of pissed. He was irritated. Excuse me.
He was irritated, children.
And so they went after Jesus. Oh, brother, you guys gonna have to forgive me. As your pastor, I have sinned. So they went after Jesus, and Joseph got super, super scared. I mean, who would not be? Herod's kind of big. And so he decided to take his family to Egypt so they could wait Herod out. Eventually, Herod ate too many carbohydrates and died, sadly. And then after, Joseph realized, hey, I think it's safe. So they went back to Jerusalem and eventually moved to Nazareth in a really great town home, similar to the ones down the street. And they all lived happily ever after for 30 more years until everyone else realized who Jesus was and how God was going to save the world through him. Let's give the Lord a clap and a shout.
Clap, children. Isn't that awesome? Sing that song. Okay, children, get up. Give the children a big clap as they go back to their seats. Come on, give them a big, big clap.
Everywhere go, telling on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds watch their walking, or silent flocks by night, they open all the heavens, they're shown a holy light. Go and telling on the mountains, over the hills and everywhere. Go telling on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born.
Let's stand up and sing it one more time. Go tell it on the mountain.
Go tell it on the mountains, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Hey, go tell it on the mountains, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born.
Clap your hands, all you people. Woo, that Herod, he was irritated. He was so irritated. All right, stay standing. I'm going to have you turn the mic up just a little bit. Guys, let's have a good Christmas. How many of you feel like our families need a good Christmas? Lift your hands, all right? So I seriously, as a pastor, I'm going to pray over that there'll be just goodness and grace and mercy upon your Christmas and your New Year's Eve. And we are going to blast into the year 2019. Clap your hands like it's a possibility. Come on now. No matter what you've been through in 2018, look at me. I've been doing this for over 30 years. Your entire life can shift within days. How many of you believe that your entire life can shift within days? Before I start my message today, I just want to say that last night was an amazing night. We were invited to a get-together, a Christmas party that turned into a wedding, and the wedding was so big it was all over the news today, and it was on the news last night because Ann Anstead of Wheeler Dealers proposed to Christina El Musa, who's now Christina Anstead, and they got married last night. They had the honeymoon last night, and they're in church this morning. Can you please give them a big, big clap? I'm so proud of them. And their children, they have a blended family. I call them the Brady Bunch with better-looking parents. And Ann Anstead's, his program, Wheeler Dealers, is on literally all over the world. I was in a whole other country and saw it. And as you know, Christina has been on cover of so many magazines. And she has Flip or Flop, and she also has a new one on HGTV called Christina on the Coast. So for them to have their honeymoon last night and show up in church with their family this morning, give them another clap. I love you guys. You guys are awesome, okay? You may be seated. You're going to love where I'm taking you today. Remember the former things, those of long ago. I am God and there is no other. I am God and there is no one like me. For I make known the end from the beginning, from ancient times what is still to come. Now this is super, super important. Somebody say still to come. Very important. Say yet to unfold. So God says, my purpose will stand and I will do what I please. From the east, I might even summons a bird of prey. From a far-off land, a man or a woman to fulfill my purpose. Now, Miles Monroe, who was a great teacher, used to say this: life without a purpose is just an experiment. Every single person has a purpose in this building. There's a difference between a good idea and a God idea. Try saying that. Say, good idea or God idea? So God says this. He says, what I have said, or what I have spoken in one translation, that will I bring about. So I want you to hear me. Even while you were in your mother's womb, God had already spoken over your life. And in secular conventions, I like to tell this story. I remember having lunch with Brad Pitt's mother and saying, what did Brad want to be when he got older? And she says, well, Bradley wanted to be an architect, and Bradley wanted to be an actor, and Bradley wanted to be an entertainer. Everything that Bradley wanted to do, he did. I remember being on the set with Robert Downey Jr.'s mother, Iron Man, and I said, what did Robert want to be? He wanted to be a director like his dad, which he is. He wanted to be an actor. He wanted to be a humanitarian. I want you to look at me. God has placed something on the inside of your heart, which is your purpose. Lift your hands if you believe in this, okay? It is a God idea. Say God idea. So good ideas may come to pass, but God ideas, they will come to pass. He says, what I have said, say said. He says, that will I do. In one commentary that I was reading last week to get ready for this message, it says, what God says he will certainly do. Now, why is certainly so important? Because it actually means it's fixed, it's determined, and it's been settled in heaven. There are things that are going to happen for your life in 2019 that are about to be wonderful because they're fixed, they're determined, and they're settled in heaven. Somebody clap your hands like that's a good possibility, okay? So he says that there are many things in our life that are unknown. I like to call it just around the corner. There are unknown corners we've never been around. They're unfamiliar. They're foreign territory. The word foreign means previously unknown, something new. Look at me. How many of you are okay with having new things hit your 2019? Someone's going to get new ideas. Come on, people. You're going to get new freedom. You're going to get new joy. You're going to get new peace. Anybody that is my close friend, they know this about me. My own kids that are around me all the time. People, I have so much peace, it's sometimes weird. I have so many jobs. I have so much pressure. I have so many people pulling on me. But get around me on the inside. You're going to see that I have peace. When I was a child, I didn't have that kind of peace. We had a lot of drama in our family. And if things were not dramatic, my mother would find a way to make them dramatic. Come on, somebody. But a new peace is in my life. A new joy is in my life. A new skip in my step and a glide in my stride. I'm here to tell you that new things are going to hit you in January, February, March, April, May, June, July. God is doing a new thing. Clap your hands like it's a good possibility. Well, what do you mean by new, Tim Storey? Previously unknown. Very important to say this. Say previously unknown. Because some of you guys are creatures of habit. Even as I say this, some of you are saying, I've heard this before. I tried it and it did not work. God just said, I am taking you to foreign places that are new. Get ready, because somebody's going to write a book. Someone's going to write a movie. Come on. Someone's going to create an idea. Someone's going to create an invention. I was playing golf with a friend of mine in Sherwood Hills Country Club. He lives on a house that hangs over a cliff. And I said, tell me the story again, how you got that house. He says, well, I was in a Tim Storey meeting 10 years ago. And he said, and I got a God idea, and I created that invention that I told you about. But I got it in a Tim Storey meeting 10 years ago. I felt like saying to him, well, can you at least break me off a quarter of the house or at least give me the Tim Storey wing? But it was something that had never been done before. See, if you're not careful, you'll become a person that is so used to going around known corners that you will not go around the unknown corners. To quote Pharrell Williams, life has taken you to faces, spaces, and places you've never been before. Clap your hands like that's going to happen for somebody. Say this, say just around the corner. All right, Tim Storey. So God has his plan for me. So what's been stopping me? Let me help you today. Number one, fear can stop people. The word fear means, look at me, dread, terror, panic. To be afraid, watch, usually of the unknown. Look at me. I'm 20 already. What am I going to do? How many of you over 20 can tell them they're going to be okay? Just lift your hands. All right. I'm 30 already. What am I going to do? How many of you over 30 can tell them that somehow they're going to be all right? Come on, people. I'm 50 already. How many of you over 50 will lift your hands and tell them they're going to be okay? Okay, but when you're younger, look at me. You wonder, am I going to be okay? Am I going to make it through this setback? Am I going to make it through this dilemma? Look at me. Look at all the stuff you've been through, and you're still in church in December at the end of the year saying that God is able. Clap your hands like God is doing a new thing. So things that try to stop us from going around the corner, number one is fear. Number two is intimidation. To be intimidated means to be frightened. Watch. To be terrified. Life, look at me, can many times try to intimidate you. You lose your job and you start thinking, what am I going to do? Intimidation. You have a breakup. What am I going to do? Intimidation. Some of you have been paralyzed in the past of intimidation. The third thing that can stop you from going around the corner is shame. Shame means disgrace, dishonor. You're embarrassed. You're humiliated. Can I give you good news? God says, forget about your former things and do not dwell on your past. For behold, I am doing a new thing. Clap your hands and shout. Come on, people. Somebody say, the past is in the past. See, you guys got to hear me. Because this is where you're going to get caught up if you're not careful. You're going to get in the shame game. And someone's going to try to label you based on your past. I talk about Magic Johnson when he had a little problem with his health, okay? And people said Ichabod, which means you're finished. How many of you know he decided not to go Ichabod? You're finished, because he has a beautiful wife who's my friend, Cookie. And Cookie said, I'm sticking with you. We're going to make this through. We're going to come all the way through. God is on our side. Do you know that I was one of the first ones to talk to Magic when this first happened to him? When I went to his house and talked to him about the situation. He's not Magic Johnson stuck in shame. He decided to let God do what he says in Zephaniah 3:16. God says, I will take away your shame, I will renew your name, and I will give you fame in every place there was shame. Somebody clap your hands like you're catching this. Come on, people. Come on, bring it out of me on this beautiful Christmas service. I said, God will take away your shame. Look at me. I'm not looking for people to grade me on what they think about me, because they do not see things from the God's eye view. In fact, God is so holy, he can't even have an evil thought about you. So powerful. He will take away your shame. He will renew your name. Get ready for this. And he will restore your fortunes before your very eyes. Look, somebody's life is going to get so good it's going to be borderline weird. I was staying in Laguna Beach the other day because I was there for a project, and these people were coming up to me at this hotel, and they were saying, "Are you Tim Storey?" I said, "Yeah." How you doing? Then I went to get my car, and the guy said, "Are you Tim Storey?" I said, "Yeah." How you doing? Then I went to get gas right there by where they have the gas station across the street from the basketball courts, and the person that worked in there said, "Are you Tim Storey?" I said, "Yes." And I started thinking, this is kind of a wild thing. That we went from Compton, California, 7 people in an apartment, broke down, come on somebody, with no big dreams. Our life was a low ceiling. But God decided to renew our name, take away our shame, come on, and give us fame where there was shame. Get ready for God to reverse the curse in every area of your life. In fact, everywhere you walk in 2019, you shall prosper. Somebody clap your hands like it's a good possibility. Come on, start thinking that way. Say everywhere. Say everywhere. Say everywhere. Say everywhere. I walk, I will prosper. Can I tell you why some of you are not thinking that way? Because you are fixated on your pain and your shame. I don't deserve this. Hey, don't you think that God knows you're faulty? If you go to Marshall's and it's marked irregular, expect it to be irregular. God would never give you the invitation if he was overly concerned about your limitation. When God called you, he knew your faults, your flaws, and failures, and still called you to do something huge. Clap your hands like you're about to do something huge. Come on, people. You got to get past the fear. You got to get past the intimidation. You got to get past the shame, the disgrace, the dishonor, the embarrassment. Look at me, people. God's opinion of you makes man's opinion irrelevant. When you look at me. When you wrap yourself in what he says, you cannot be stopped. Look at me. When you wrap yourself in what he says, God's opinion of you makes man's opinion irrelevant. Jesus never walked around saying, "What do y'all think? How am I doing? Am I doing okay as a Messiah? Was that healing okay for you, or did that throw you off? When I spit in the guy's eye, did that throw you off?" Come on, people. When he saw trees, did that throw you off? Jesus was never saying, "Am I okay? Can you rate me? How's it going out there?" Because he already knew what his Father said. 4 more minutes. Catch this. When Jesus was being baptized, the Father said, "For this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." And Jesus had never done one miracle. The Father said, "I'm pleased with my Son," and he had never done one miracle. Some of you think God's waiting to be pleased with you, look at me, when you perform. Watch me. When you perform. "Oh, my performance is off. I can't come to church. I'm still getting high. I can't come to church. I'm still a freak. I shouldn't come to church." You should sit in the front row. Come on, people. So God will take away your shame. Watch. He'll renew your name. Look at me. What you used to be is not who you are now. But some people did not get the memo. Come on. Some people didn't get it. It's like George Lopez. Who's heard of George Lopez? His tia. His tia would be his what? Come on. Good. I'm glad you guys know. The tia is the aunt. The aunt. So watch. His tia said to him, "George, Mr. Big Shot, you and all your dreams to make it to Hollywood as a famous comedian. You're going to end up on the streets. He said, yeah, I did. I ended up on the streets, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You better clap your hands like God, come on, has something big. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. He has something big for you. Come on, people. He has something big for you. He has something big for you. Watch. Just around the, watch me. Just around the, hey, just around the, hey, just around the, just around the, hey, corner. Look at me. See? But your shame is going to try to hold you back. You don't deserve it. Look what you've done. People are even blogging about you. Watch. He'll take away your shame. Renew your name. Hey. And give you fame where there was shame. And that's going to throw some of you off. It's going to throw some of you off. It's like, oh my God, I don't deserve this. It's too much. Even if you don't deserve it, how dare you deny the blessings of your Father? Somebody clap your hands like you're going to receive the blessings of your Father. Come on, clap your hands like you're going to, come on, like you're going to receive. Come on, like you're going to receive. Come on, like you're going to receive the blessings of your Father. He takes away your shame. He renews your name. He gives you honor and fame in every place you were put to shame. And I close with this. There's always going to be the naysayers that are going to come. Oh, I remember him back in the day. I remember her back in the day. Look at me. Why are you talking about my then when I'm living in my now? See, why are you talking about my then right then when I'm living in my now right now? This is so powerful. I saw one real negative guy in the mall one day. And he said to me, watch, he's a famous minister. And he said, how are you doing? I literally had no idea why he had that look on his face. I said, good, how are you doing? He says, no, but I haven't heard you around. This was 8 years ago. Well, how are you doing? I said, no, I'm serious. Like, how are you doing? You look like something's wrong. See, because he must have heard something that gave him a certain attitude towards me. There are people that have heard something in their own mind or their own spirit, and now they're treating you according to what they feel in their mind or their spirit. Why don't you put this in your heart today? God's mind and God's spirit says you are blessed. He says you're forgiven. He says that he's merciful. He says that the past is the past. I'm done speaking. Clap your hands if you learned anything. Come on, people. Stand up and clap like you got energy. Come on, clap like you have energy. Take away our shame. Renew my name and give me fame in every area where I had shame. And everywhere I go, I will prosper. In 2019, everywhere I go, I will prosper. In 2020, everywhere I go, I will prosper. In 2021, everywhere I go, I will prosper. Clap your hands like you believe this. In 2022, everywhere I go, I will prosper. In 2023, everywhere I go, I shall prosper. Do you believe it? More than believe it. I live it. I live this life. Somebody shout like you caught this. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. I said, I said every. See, some people don't get this yet. Rudy, everywhere I go. Everywhere. God said everywhere. He didn't say prosper in this jurisdiction. Only prosper here because you messed up back in 99. Everywhere. Everywhere. Come on, keep clapping. Everywhere I go. Come on, everywhere I go. Everywhere. I prosper because he said I could prosper. Come on, I prosper because I'm covered in him. I'm covered in him. I'm covered in his mercy. I'm covered in his love. I'm covered in his protection. Come on. Everywhere I go. Turn my mic up just a little bit. Say, everywhere I go. Everywhere. Could you imagine me as a kid listening to these Motown records? And then when we started the church, that I asked Smokey Robinson, Smokey, can you come and perform? We're starting a church. And Smokey says, little brother, anything for you, man. Anything for what you've done for me. Could you imagine when Stevie Wonder got his NAACP award, he said, Tim, I could ask anybody to come and sit with me, but I'm asking you because you know what it takes to have your dreams come true. These Stevie Wonder people, I used to listen to his records. Piano sound. Do you know what it's like to be standing there? And Berry Gordy, Motown, the billionaire, says to me, Tim, I really love your Bible study. Could you imagine when you speak at the Hollywood Bible study and you see a Berry Gordy worth $1 billion sitting there listening? Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. See, there's a difference between me and some of you. Some of you want to cling to your negative past. More lashings. I haven't had enough. I'd rather avoid the belt and learn from my mistakes and get better. Somebody say, forget about the former things and do not dwell in the past. Say, for behold, God is doing a new thing. For 30 seconds, close your eyes and start to see a new thing.
Never gonna let You're never gonna let
Go ahead and turn up Joseph Chestnut's microphone. Close your eyes. It's your life. See yourself for 30 seconds where you're headed.
You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down. Oh no. You're never gonna let me down. Oh,
Try saying those words.
You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down.
Come on, try saying those words.
You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna let me down. You're never gonna
Take your right hand and put it on your heart. Say, God, heal me. Heal me from this year. Thank you for healing me. Close your eyes. That's it. Say, restore, renew, refresh. Something big is coming just around the corner. Close your eyes. That's him. Just for 30 seconds. It's just him. You can look up here. What you sense is the peace of God. I want you to look at me, and I want you to hear me. We have one life on this planet, and I'm not going to barely have a life. I'm not going to be a discount version of myself. How many of you want to rise up and be everything that life intended you to be? Clap your hands if you hear what I'm saying. Okay? Every Sunday we're here to build you, to build your faith. For you visitors, this was a different service because it's Christmas time. I want you to look at me. But we're given as a team to build a community of hope, of love, of compassion in the Jesus style. Let me tell you something. God blesses what he possesses. Don't be a person who just comes once every 3 weeks, once every 4 weeks. Try coming every Sunday for a period of time and watch how faith starts building in you. How many of you, like me, need faith to build in you even more, okay? Stay standing. This will take 2 minutes. Given it should be given back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Will be poured into your lap. For the measure that you use, it will be measured back to you. I really love Maria Shriver. Maria Shriver was raised by 2 parents, just hear me, that started the Peace Corps and the Special Olympics. And if you go to her Catholic church, you'll see that there's like a wing, a Shriver wing, where the Shrivers give so much money. I was sitting with her brother, Bobby Shriver, who's my great friend. He's also an attorney. And he said, we were taught to give, but to give abundantly. Listen. He said, we knew we had money. They're the Kennedys and the Shrivers. You get this. We knew we had money, but we were taught to give abundantly. We gave abundantly of our time, and we gave abundantly of our finances. And he says, no wonder it kept coming back. Somebody say, no wonder it keeps coming back. I want to challenge you today to be a person that steps in and give into a community where we're changing people's lives. Giving your energy, giving your prayers, but giving your finances. Because I'm going to tell you something. It really never leaves your hand. Because even though you let it go, it's coming back around. But it's coming back in money or what money cannot buy. How many believe as we give today that it's coming back in money or what money cannot buy? Clap your hands. Come on, people. So, guys, let's end this year strong. If this could be one of the best tithes and offerings that we've taken for the year, which is usually the case at the end of the year, let's do something huge so we can keep building this beautiful thing called the congregation. You may be seated. And Pastor Stefan's going to come and tell us about text to give. And on a scale of 1 to 10, you guys were a 10 today on letting me speak to you. If you could bring the lights up a little bit just so they can see as they're writing. Some of them are using envelopes. If you need an envelope, lift your hand and then bring the lights up just a little bit. Okay?
Perfect. There's a few ways you can give. One more time in the back, if we could bring the lights up. There's a few ways we could give. The first way to give is through an offering envelope. If you don't have an offering envelope, one of the ushers will give one to you. There's an usher over there, in the middle. So you could give by cash, by check, by credit card. Many people do that. And so definitely write down all your information on there just for tax seasons coming up. The second thing you can do is give CongregationChurch.com. For those of you who are watching online, which is a lot of you today who are watching online, you can give today by just clicking on the give link right below your screen. And then finally, for those of you who are like me, who use your phone for everything, text to give. And so if you want to give through your phone, you can text 77977 to Congregation Church and then the amount. So if you were going to give $100 today, you would text the phone number 77977 and then you would text Congregation Church and then 100. What's great about text to give is once you put your CC information in, you only have to do it one time. So anytime you want to give, again, it's super simple. If you're watching online, if you miss a Sunday and you still want to give, you can do it through your phone.
Beautiful. How many are glad you came to church today? All right. So I want you to look at me. For you that are new to me getting in my flow like that, I believe everything I say about your life. 2019 is going to be strong. 2020 is going to be better. 2021 is going to be better. Somebody clap your hands like it's a possibility. People, I believe it. Now, are you not going to face adversity? Look at me. Yes, you will. Are things not going to come against you? Yes, they will. But look at me. You killed a lion, you killed a bear, you could take down Goliath. Some of you at the end of the year, you're facing a Goliath, but you killed a lion like David. You killed a bear. You could take down Goliath. Don't you dare give up on me. Don't you dare give up on me. The world needs us so bad. Okay? So let's give. And the ushers, go ahead and hold for a second. So text to give or give. Look at everybody gives. This is just an awesome church. When I tell the other pastors that I hang out with how much this church gives, they cannot believe it. We're such a young church, and you rascals are in here. How many of you are glad we're doing this thing called the congregation, okay? Tell people about what's happening and come next Sunday, and we'll just keep on growing together. Okay, the ushers can come forward. And as they're coming, if you have an open hand, can we give the children another clap for performing today, singing, and being amazing? You kids were awesome. And that Herod boy, he was irritated. Man, you can get irritated. Especially when you get old. I love this church. Pastor Paige and your team, thanks for working so hard with this Christmas tree. I don't know where all my Chanel presents went. Do you know where they are? Can you get them back? The Grinch took all my presents. If we can get those back somehow from the Grinch, that'd be awesome. All right. Next year we start off with a new series that you're going to love. Man, I'm getting inspired by your guys' lives, and what a privilege it is to serve you. Thank you to all the pastors that serve and help.
And we told all the parents to go ahead and pick up their children here in the front. So we have some helpers here, Santa's little helpers, and so you can bring your I guess you have your little tickets too. So if you checked them in, and then you can pick it up. And we're going to sing one more song after they pick up. And what's the song, Joseph? Joy to the World. And we're going to sing that as we go out. It's okay. Let's all stand. on, let's join them.
Jesus.